Hi there. It's very, very windy. No surprise there. I often say I can't believe the wind in this country. I'm sure it wasn't like this when I was a child. I'm sure it wasn't. And I'm back out on this pasture. Well, you wouldn't have heard any of that because it's so windy and I forgot to turn my mic on. It's on now. So I'm just gonna voice this over. I found a few bits and pieces already. It's bloody windy as per usual. And then this now. I mean, I know what it is because I've found these before, but only literally a couple. They're monogrammed strap ends of sorts. I think they're called box strap ends or something like that. And the leather would have gone inside that bit there, and it would have been encased on each side, and one side is heavily decorated. It's got a crown. I think they're often JC, aren't they, or something like that, JHC, Jesus Christ. They're religious. It's got finials on the end of it. It's absolutely fabulous. It's interesting field, this. I've done a lot of it, and I've found what I feel to be the better sections, but I'm left with those bits that don't feel so busy, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just doing those bits really carefully, and it's very untrashy. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful. When you get a signal, you are fairly sure. I'm not necessarily going to say it's going to be good, but it will be old. It'll be a crappy piece of lead or a bit of copper or something. It might be a cartridge or a rifle round, especially in some of the other bits. But generally speaking, a good, deep, a buzzy, high-pitched sound is going to be something good. And this wasn't. I mean, this wasn't high-pitched in the slightest. Well, it was. It sounded like a bit like what I found in the last video, that enormous axe head. Just really thumping piece of copper. And I'm not ignoring thumping pieces of copper from now on. I mean, I've never have ignored this one anyway, if it wasn't loud enough. But that's what it is. It's a thumping piece of copper, and I'm absolutely thrilled. Well, look, we won't go back to headquarters yet because it's just too early. And I'll wait till I find something else. And if I haven't found anything else, then you will see me there now. And like in the last video, if I suddenly find 2 or 3 more bits, then we'll go back each time, so you will see me there again. So I don't know if I'm gonna be there or not. But meanwhile, let's just keep going because I'm absolutely thrilled with that. That might be find of the day already. Hi there. Well, we will have a quick look at this now, because even though that was a really tough day, the finds were few and far between, but there were some really stunning ones. But it was hard work, and I'm really sorry about the audio on that. The bit you heard, I recorded straight after. I just tried to remember what I said the first time round. I thought, I can't go through all that again. A professional would have re-recorded it, but I couldn't. Anyway, this really is rather fabulous. I mean, I'll show you in a minute. I have found something similar, but not like this. I mean, this is just the most ornate, beautiful thing. It's called a box-shape strap end, i.e. your piece of leather. I think this would have opened even. You can sort of see where it would have opened. You'd open it up, your leather would have gone in, you closed it, riveted it, and that would have been your strap end. Now, this is a very similar one, and this seems to be a more usual one, and it would have had this sort of shape, this sort of lyre shape coming out of it, and that would have formed the pin and possibly the buckle itself to be able to use as a sort of buckle and pin. But I don't think this one would have been. Now, I've got my new book, the Egan and Pritchard. But my God, you need a degree to navigate this. I mean, it is tricky. I'm going to have to basically do some work with this before actually using it to show some of the things we find, because it's just so advanced. And there's no dictionary. There's no bit to be able to actually go to the thing. You've got to know where it is. But I mean, it's going to be brilliant, but it's also extremely hard work. But my thinking is that this must have just held the end of the leather for you to have just pulled through. I mean, a proper strap end, just the end of a strap. No buckle bit, no pin bit, just something to stop the leather from fraying, something grand to oh my gosh, it's even sort of belt size, isn't it? Anyway, that's just such a lovely thing. And very quickly, a few videos ago, we found a Saxon brooch, which I couldn't find at the time. I had to illustrate what we found using another one. But cleaning up my ridiculous bench outside, which holds all my finds. I found it. It was completely scrumpled up. But this is it, and it's rather wonderful. You can see a sort of dot in the middle, and it's got 4 sort of quadrants and a cross and beading on the outside, and the hinge and the catch. So that's that. I re-found it. So I mean, it goes without saying, got to be really careful, especially with blobs of lead and stuff, that you don't lose things. Emptying out your finds pouch into the rubbish bin. It wouldn't go in the rubbish bin. I'm a magpie. I can't throw anything away. Things just build up and get hoarded. Anyway, thank you very much for that. We'll come back to you more times because I do find a couple of really cracking things. And a few days ago, 4 people who follow this channel came down and detected that field with me, which I put a thing on in the last video, and it was really good fun. We all found something, not a massive amount, but enough to make it worthwhile. And I think everyone enjoyed themselves, especially me and Tasky, who's sitting just there, who came out for the day. And actually, it was quite nice that he came out for the day because I had him with me for the first time in a long time, and he sort of stuck fairly close. Anyway, in the next video, I will have a segment of that day because it was really good fun. And meanwhile, let's go back to the fields. There's going to be showers later apparently, and I'm in a very open area, and so if I feel it's suddenly going to start raining, I'm going to go to a different place where there's more tree coverage, because I don't even have a raincoat. I don't want to get wet. There's 2 for the price of 1 here. Got 1 here. The speaker makes them sound very slightly lower than what they are in my ears, if that makes any sense. And there's another one there. They're very cartridgey sounding, if I'm being fair, and cartridges do come in pairs often. So, but let's dig them. I thought better give these a go since I can get 2 in at the same time. They're going to be cartridges. They're too soft sounding. They're just not. Well, they've got a bit of depth about them. It's a great field, this. It really is. Right, I reckon this one will give us a very big clue to what that one is. It's not a cartridge. It's a horrible 2-2 rifle round. So this is going to be 1-2. No 2 ways about it. That's just the way it goes. Can you imagine if they'd both been little Roman coins? Sounding smaller. Yeah, rats. Wouldn't you know it? I thought I'd better do that live just in case it's 2 fabulous things, 2 horrible things. I didn't get my camera out because it was straight after those dreadful, those horrible rifle rounds. But look, first Roman coin of the day. Hooray! In a bit of the field, I don't tend to find the Roman stuff, so that's nice. Now it's a Romulus and Remus one, I think. A Rome commemorative. Not a particularly good wolf, but let's see. But not a bad Goddess Roma. So hopefully, I'll concentrate on this area a bit. We'll live dig the next one, because that's lovely. Great sign, makes me happy. I love Roman stuff. Well, this one's interesting. It's going to be tiny, whatever it is. Just enough of a buzz. Bit more iron there, but the buzz is in the same place. The buzz doesn't move. You've got half a chance of it not being ferrous. It's very good on there. That's where it's best. I don't think it's very big. It could even be a little bit of lead, but it's the sort of thing that it's not a cartridge. Might be a bit of a cartridge, but that's the sort of thing I'm looking for in this field now. Still in there. I think it's on this side by the sound of it. Oh, I give up. I give up. It's a bit of wire, bit of copper wire. Oh God, we try so hard, don't we? Try and get at something. Anyway, we'll keep at it. Oh dear, I probably won't even bother showing that. That made a lovely sound, and they do. I think I said it very recently. What makes I mean, it's a little tiny pistol ball, musket ball. There's nothing sounds sweeter than one of these, does it? Nothing. It just gives off the perfect signal. A little musket ball like that, a little lead musket ball. You know, they're a bit of a pain to dig if you're digging too many of them. But nothing sounds better than one of those. Right, if this is no good, I'm giving up on live digs today, because I just want to find some nice things. Hang on, the camera's slightly facing the wrong way. That should be better. This is the strongest, nicest, non-cartridgey signal I've had all day. When we do our live digs, we do obviously try and concentrate on the signals that we feel have the strongest chance of being something good. We can't set up for every dig. We'd be setting up 1,000 times a day. But more often than not, the crappy sounding signals are little Roman coins and hammers, and it's the strong ones. But that's got to be, I mean, I think it could possibly be a penny, a copper penny, George III, Victoria, someone like that. It's that sort of sound. It's deep. It sounded deep. It sounded conductive and deep, which is, oh, right. Well, that's giving all the right sounds, because that's 8 inches and sounding like that. Oh, can't be that. Well, it is old. I think it's an old piece of bronze pot or something. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what made that noise. Sorry, just got a really good feeling. I'm in a good area. The grass is really low. Last time I was here, it was long and tufty. The sheep have been on it. So I've got every chance of finding more things here and finding good things here. Just being a bit tricky at the minute. Well, my God, it's just sod slow at best. Sounds all right now, but it was very coppery. It sounded like a bit of copper cartridge. At best, I thought a crappy Roman coin. I think it's Saxon. It's just down here, and it's a bit smashed up by the look of it. I don't think that was me. But that is it's a silver Saxon coin, or possibly Norman. It's got a cross on that side with letters in the middle of the quadrants. Gosh, such a shame it's got a bit missing out of it. And on the other side, we've got mud on it at the minute. Let's have a little look. My God, it is just, I just thought, get this out the way, just dig it up. No point in live digging this one. We're not doing any more live digs anyway. And there it is. There he is. Wowee. I don't know who it is. From that, you might be able to tell. They're quite often there with a confessor around here. I'm not going to try and bend that back here. I will straighten it a bit when I get back. but that is a Saxon or a Norman coin. I'm guessing Saxon. Well, wow. I've really struggled today, apart from that wonderful strap end, that box strap end, right at the beginning. I have struggled, and then to find something like that. I mean, as I said, it's a shame it's got a bit snapped out of it. I don't know if that was me or it might be in the hole, or that's an earlier break. I think it's probably earlier. Wow, incredible, incredible. Let's go back to headquarters and I'll have done some research and I'll tell you who it is. Let's go. Right, this coin, well, wow. I've got some even worse news. It wasn't me who damaged it in the first place, but it was so brittle that I lost another little tiny slither off it. And therefore, I'm not even going to try and bend it back to as it was. It's such a shame because it really is a beautiful coin in really good condition. You can clearly see it is Edward the Confessor on that side, and the reverse is one which is not a particularly rare type, but it's one that I haven't found before. It's the Pax type, P-A-C-X. I always thought Pax was P-A-X, and I looked this up. They did also spell it P-A-C-X. That's why it's P-A-C-X in each of the quadrants. I'm not sure who the Munier is or the Mint. I'll put it on the detecting hub because the Warlock there will probably know. And it's such a shame, as I said, I haven't found this type before. Well, it's definitely seen better days. We'll just have a quick look in our Spink. Very quickly, and completely unrelated to those who don't use the detecting hub, when the Great Electus gives you just letters and numbers and people say, oh, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, you can't take up too much of his time. You need, if you don't have a copy of this, just get one. They're not very expensive and you don't have to get the latest edition. This is 220. It is absolutely the last word, really, in quickly identifying British coins. Rather, coins of England and the United Kingdom. It really is. Often you have to vaguely know where to start. It's not the easiest reference, but it is just brilliant. So do get a Spink. And here, under Edward the Confessor, I've remarked before, there are not that many types of Edward the Confessor coin. There's about 12, 13, and obviously there will be variations within those types. But here it is. Very dark one in the book, not such a dark one here, and there it is next to it. Pax type, diadem, bust left, voided, long cross, and gosh, a really good one would be worth £500. This one isn't. That's not a really good one, but just an incredible find all the same. I mean, really brilliant. I haven't put anything on eBay in about 3 or 4 videos, and since it's coming up to Christmas, I'm going to have a big eBay push out. There'll be about 20 things on it from the last 3 videos, and I may add the odd thing from previous videos, but I'll always say in the description on eBay which video it comes from. And for those who ask, my details, I'm something called Awesome Artifacts. That's my name, but it never seems to work if I give that out. Just click on the link or one of the links in the description, and then that will take you to the item page, and from there you can get all my other details. Anyway, we do come back here one more time. Thank you very much. And meanwhile, let's go back to the fields. This because it's next door to it. The coin was there. No, that's lovely. But I just know, I just know won't be any good because it's a live one. It's infuriating if you knew how hard we tried for these. But it's still in there. Come on, Saxon there. I think it might be a Roman coin. Or is it the beginning of a Saxon horde? No, that's a stone, thank God for that. I thought it was just a bit of lead, probably is just a bit of lead. It's even worse than that. It's a horrible piece of aluminium. I am sorry. I've temporarily put all my camera stuff away because I'm on my way back to the car. I'm going to go somewhere else before all this rain comes and I can see it. But look at this. I don't know what it is yet, but I can see a bit of gilding. Is it a buckle of sorts? Here it is. Yeah, it's got I can see the pin. Coming out of a sort of side hole. Isn't that odd? It's supposed to be doing that. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Is it a brooch? I'm going to be really careful with that. Just deal with it when I get back. I can see gilding on it. Yeah, I think it's a brooch. I think something's gone wrong with that. But it's charming, whatever it is. And we'll have a look at that. Just because I'm a glutton for punishment, I'm going to risk one more live dig. And I've just found that rather interesting broachy type thing. And before that, I just found another little Roman coin. Not a particularly good one, but it might clean up. It's quite thick. It's a bronze. I think it's got the camp gates on one side and probably Constantine or someone like that on the other. Really pleased with that. I'll put that down there because I want to photograph it in a minute. And then we'll end on this. It's not going to be any good. But it's a nice buzzy one. It's not the best signal in the world, but when I've been trying to live dig the best ones, it's just rubbish. So we're going to dig a crappy one and see if we can get anything good out of it. It's probably a bit of lead. And then I've got to go because I don't want to be in the rain, or I need to be near some cover when this rain comes and it's proper forecast. And I'm going to go to a field over there where there's some Roman coins. He says there's always Roman coins there. And you've seen me in a couple of videos recently digging some up there. Well, crappy copper, I reckon. At about 7 inches. So that should do it. Well, sounding a bit sparkier now. And I can see it. And it is I don't know what it is. I think it's got a chance of being semi-old, this. It's an old piece of bronze. It's shaped like a key. It's not a key. That's got something about it, definitely. But I don't know what. But I think that's got some age. God, I've tried today. We have found a couple of absolute blinders. I hope you can hear me. It's so windy. And I'm on this great field which has always got Roman coins on it. And when it's had a deep plough, like it had this year for the potatoes, even more. And I've only been here about 20 minutes and I found about 5 already. I don't want to bore you with them. They're nothing very exciting. But this one, very close to the surface. That sounds a little bit bigger, and I'd be amazed if it wasn't a Roman coin. It's out. Yep. I mean, you're sort of tripping over them. And I very rarely find brooches and stuff here, but it's a big area and there's Roman coins all over it. I don't think they're hoards or anything. I think it must have been a camp or something. And that's just a lovely one. And it is, no surprise, sold as in standard. They come out in such good condition because the soil is so sandy. And And that is, well, I can see it very easily, FLI, so I think that means one of the sons of Constantius. Oh no, it's it's Org, so it's one of the guys it's one of them as an emperor. And that is just brilliant. Well, look at this. It's a little double bleeper, but it's a sunbather as well. Just on the surface. Hang on. Have a little look-see. Well, look, I think that's a nicer one than the ones we found already. And I think it's a lot earlier too. Part of me thinks, is that silver? It's got quite a raised portrait. It might even be a denarius. I don't know what it says on it. And quite often in these little clips I do, you can see it more quickly than I can through the camera. It's only when I clean it up I can get a proper bead on it. But that's absolutely wonderful. Thrilled with that. Don't find much silver in this field. Plenty of bronze coins, but not that much silver, if that's what it is. Have a proper look at that in a minute, I think. Well, I didn't quite realise what a good coin this was at the time. And we really will look at it very quickly, and then I'll let you go. Because it's been quite a long video. It's Septimus Alexander, this little coin, and I think it's silver. But I'm pretty sure it's silver. The Antoninianus was a coin introduced by Caracalla, who was only about 2 or 3 emperors before this guy. And that was a coin which was supposed to be a double denarius. It wasn't. It only had 1.5 times the silver content of a denarius, not double the silver content as it was supposed to. I don't understand economics, but you're better off if you're in charge of the mint and that's what you're doing. And when they first started, obviously they were good coins with a lot of silver in them. It didn't take very long for the Antoninianus to really go downhill and become incredibly debased. And more often than not, by the end of it, 60, 70, 80 years later, you're left with a copper coin with just a silver wash. Now, I don't think this is, because denarii, not denarius, are very raised. That's one of the ways you can tell a denarius, and this one is. The portrait's absolutely fabulous, and it is very raised, and you can see on the outside it says Sev Alexander, like me, Alexander Org, and that's who it is. And he was quite, I wouldn't say he was a successful emperor, but considering who he came before and after, I mean, his reign, even though he was very young, was relatively stable. Anyhow, that's who it is, and it really is a lovely portrait. Not such a good reverse. Probably could do with a bit of a clean, and it looks to have a bit of copper there, so probably it is an Antoninianus. Anyway, that's just a really lovely coin. I don't have a Severus Alexander. And with that, we'll call it a day. As I said earlier, the next video will feature the gang who came down to help me detect that field, and I think that would be quite good fun, amongst other things. Anyway, thank you very much for watching all that, and see you next time.